Hey guys, it's coreross, and today we're doing some rainbow speculation. So I wanted to get ahead of any potential leaks we get before the new season starts up. As you might know if you watched my video on it, it is less than 2 weeks until season 4's reveal, and of course that is the last season of year 4. In this video, we'll be going over the proximity sensor, which is actually something officially given to us by Ubisoft. And we're also going to go over the potential of the attacker and what they may be able to do and what the community would like for the attacker to be able to do. So I thought I'd start with the proximity sensor. This was teased at the very beginning of the year, and I feel like because it was teased back then that we are going to get it this year. Now, it doesn't, mean it's certain for sure. However, I just hope that it does actually come out. So it was teased in the high-res Harry picture, and it showed the proximity sensor as the only new secondary gadget on that actual kind of diagram. It did show some that were circled as well. Maybe they can, might get some like changes or stuff like that. But of course, the big thing is the addition of a proximity sensor. And I feel like it's definitely going to come with Season 4. But the thing is, and I asked this on Twitter, who would actually get this gadget? Would it be a defender gadget or an attacker gadget? Because I kind of feel like it's going to be like a claymore. It'll be on one of the teams, not both of them. That's my kind of assumption there. Now you might remember it has been in audio lines for pretty much all the new operators that have been released over the last couple of years. So the proximity sensor is something that's not just fiction of the imagination. It's in the Harry picture, it's in voice lines, it's been added in. It's obviously been something they've been playing with for a long time, and those voice lines have both been for attackers and defenders. However, that doesn't really single it down to anything because defenders actually have voice lines for putting down breaching charges and claymores, so it doesn't kind of signal out one team or the other is going to be getting it from just that information. It would kind of make sense obviously to be on attack to help with anti-roamer kind of tactics, and it would of course then compete with the claymore, which wouldn't be the best thing. Now of course the claymore is lethal, so the proximity sensor would have to bring something that's kind of a boost over that claymore in some way, because of course it would be non-lethal. So I assume you would get more than one of them, and if you could lock off 2 different doors with a proximity sensor, and it would mean that you could cover 2 different flanking approaches, that would be potentially really good for the attack inside. So I could see that working out. But of course it could be on the defender side, and in my poll so far defenders are winning. And I find that surprising. It doesn't feel like a very good fix for me, even though it does actually seem very powerful. Certainly if you're a roamer and you have a couple of these proximity sensors up, then you could tell when someone's actually hunting you down, and could be really good for anti-jackal work, or just in general anyone who's trying to track down a roamer could be really lured into a very easy trap, because you'd know where that proximity sensor is. As soon as it goes off, you could shoot through the wall at the right kind of area and potentially get a nice easy kill. So yeah, I'm curious to see how it would play out. But of course you could also put it on objective rooms, and for defenders as well, it might actually work really well against Nuke, and especially if she does get buffed, it would be really handy to have a proximity sensor that would go off when she's nearby. Of course, maybe her gadget would actually counter it, although I feel like it's more likely that if it was on defense, it would be more of a counter to Nuke. So I don't think she would counter it. However, it's a pure guess, and that's what we're speculating today, because we are guessing what the hell's coming next. And of course, I should point out, I'm just a random dude on the internet making YouTube videos, so I'm very curious to your guys' opinion on this, to build on what I'm talking about, but also kind of knock down what I'm talking about if you guys have better ideas, because more than likely you do, and I'd love to hear what you think, either in the comments below, or you can reply to the Twitter poll here too. So overall, I see the proximity sensor being a very powerful gadget for either attacker or defenders, and it really comes down to how many you get. If you get one, then I don't see it as good as a claymore, because the claymore can just outright kill someone, and that's handy. But if it's on defense and you get one, maybe it'll be okay. But then you've also got the bulletproof cam that it's kind of up against, and the bulletproof cam can give you much more intel. So, it's a real kind of up and down there. But if you get 2 or 3 of them, then it becomes a really useful gadget that could be very, very popular. And yeah, I think it would actually work really well. So let's get on to the attacking operator now, and speculate on what they could potentially do. Now currently there's no leaks for this operator. Now I have had plenty of comments letting me know that there has been a leak. However, The one that they refer to, as far as I know, is not legit. Now, it could well be that some of the information is correct. Back in the day, there was a leak for Gridlock and Mozzie, and it was totally legit. It was all matching up perfectly, but they said that Gridlock was on defense and that Mozzie was on attack. And it kind of made sense. This whole idea of a trap operator and Gridlock being on defense totally made sense at the time. But of course, when she came out, she was an attacker. So I don't think that leak is legitimate. Maybe bits of it are, but there's one bit of information in that leak that just sounds weird, where they say that the impact grenade would be able to destroy reinforced walls, but it would destroy the metal part, but not the soft part. Which doesn't make sense because the metal part's on the inside when a defender reinforces. So how would an impact grenade not destroy the soft part? That would be kind of odd, unless it's like acid based or something. So I don't think any of the stuff currently leaked out about the attacker is legitimate. So I did a little Twitter poll and I asked, what do you think the new attacker might do for Year 4, Season 4? Now, this is interesting because I put down hard breacher, anti-roamer, counter gadget like an EMP, or a sniper. Now, of course, there could be other options like a healer, stuff like that. And I was quite surprised to see that the counter gadget, the EMP, is actually seemingly very well requested here and is currently sitting at 41%. Now that is surprising to me, but also is exactly what I want too, because I think although we do have Twitch and Thatcher, I feel like Thatcher does a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to the anti-gadget work. So I would love to see someone coming in with obviously a different style of EMP, but I could totally see someone who, has an electrical device or something that zaps and destroys all gadgets in a certain radius or something like that. So yeah, I'm hoping we do indeed see a counter EMP guy. And how that's going to work, don't know. It would have to obviously be different from Thatcher, different from Twitch, but it would obviously do a very similar role. Although I would expect the gadget to work much more like Thatcher's EMP than Twitch's drone. Like I don't expect it's a Twitch's drone that runs around and sets off an EMP or something like that. I'd expect it is an AoE type gadget that you lob out and it does something, definitely would be different from Thatcher, but would be a similar role. The other results right now are very similar, with the hard breacher being one of the highest, which is surprising because I feel like we already have enough hard breachers, Thermite's got the slow but big charge, so it means it makes a nice big hole. Then we've got Hibana, who's able to do it from range, but again it's still quite slow. Then we've got Maverick, who can get in really close, do the breach really fast, but if he wants to actually make a hole you can get through, it takes longer. So I feel like we've got a really good balance when it comes to the hard breachers. Anyone else getting added into that, I feel like would really change up the meta quite significantly. But maybe that's what they want to go with. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what the devs come up with there. Now, the other thing that was interesting was anti-roamer was at 19%. Now, of course, we've had a lot of anti-roamer stuff over the last couple of years, and I expect that Ubisoft, at this point, is probably still kind of going that way, although maybe they've got to the point where they're kind of slowing it down. Like if the proximity sensor ends up being on the attacker's team, I could see that being quite good to continue to slow the game down a little bit. And I don't really expect to see another anti-roamer. Considering the trouble we've had with Jackal, I don't think we'll see an anti-roamer coming in with this season, but could be wrong. Now the other option, which has got a surprising amount of votes, is this sniper. This is amazing to me because Glaz has been a complete and utter disaster. Considering he was brought in as one of the original operators, and he just simply had a more powerful sniper rifle than anyone else, and that was it. He had a big red scope, but it was pretty much still just an ACOG. Now, of course, he's got an actual gadget, which was too powerful to begin with, so they had to nerf the crap out of it, and he's kind of just, at this moment in time, on the balancing graphs, he has actually fallen off the balancing graphs. He is that bad. I don't think we've ever had an operator that bad before. Now, yeah, I could see a sniper actually working. So this is how I see it. Bolt action. Lots of damage, one shot kill or one shot down. And for a secondary, I think you could actually give him an SMG. Because Glaz has a rifle that's semi-auto, I think you can't really give him the SMG. But with a bolt action sniper, I think you can give this new sniper a fully automatic sidearm as a close combat option. Now the thing is though, the sniper would not actually be the gadget. It would just be a nice powerful rifle for that operator to use. So think BOSG shotgun, but with an ACOG and only one round in it that you obviously have to bolt action for the next. Now, that means you would actually have to have a gadget alongside the weapons. This is where I think they went wrong with Glaz. If Glaz's weapons weren't his gadget and he had something else that brought just a little bit of utility to the team, I think they could have made him work far easier. So I think a whole new sniper who has a sniper rifle, but it's not their gadget, and they have something that is useful as their actual gadget. So it could be anything at all, really. It could be that they're a hard breacher. You know, a hard breacher with a sniper rifle would not be the craziest or worst idea, I think. Then, of course, you could also go for an EMP type gadget, or they could be a drone operator. They could have their sniper rifle for range, but they could drive a drone in to do something. So I think there's a lot of options with the sniper, and I'm actually surprised by how many people voted for sniper, even though it seems like right now snipers are not good in Rainbow Six Siege. And of course, even the longest of longest ranges in Rainbow Six Siege is not even close to what an actual sniper would be attempting to shoot at. And with the defenders having really quick fire rates on their guns, it actually means at the ranges they're shooting at that for the most part they're better snipers than in the actual snipers in the game. But you know what? Give this guy a really high damage sniper rifle with a bolt action and it might just work. However, I don't know if I really see it coming with the final season of the year. Maybe it will. It would be kind of cool if it did. That would be a big surprise if that was the case. I would not see that coming whatsoever. Also, I would point out, that would be a new gun. That would actually be a new gun. It wouldn't be a reused weapon. That would have to be a whole new gun added into the game. So that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for sure. So there we go, guys. That was just a little bit of Rainbow speculation as we kind of just guess about the proximity sensor and the brand new attacker. Of course, we already know that Defender is probably going to be a Jaeger 2.0, as that has come from leakers who have given us really good information in the past. We have, like I say, we've had some leaks on the attacker, but I don't actually believe them. I don't think they're legitimate, and I'll, of course, make videos about anything I do think ends up being legitimate in the future, as I expect. There probably will be a leak before the actual reveal. That's why I'm getting this video out now before it potentially all comes out. Anyway, guys, like I say, I want to hear what you guys think about this in the comments below. All these stuff we talked about today, and if there's anything else you guys want to add to the discussion. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.